So what was the main thing we were doing? Anybody? Anybody? Well, how'd you pair it off, right? You were paired off.
Maintaining presence through the movement.
Very good thing. All right, how were we doing that? Anybody?
By getting into the stance, by just...
So first just motion?
First just motion, just here, developing center, and then hit.
Okay. Okay, so we were doing kind of targeting, you know, like triggering and then moving full motion. Okay, so, okay, that's cool. What did we do when we paired you guys off? What was the accomplishment? What was the goal of what we're trying to accomplish here? So you were going to lead us soon, so we'll do the other stuff first. You know, what was the goal on it? When you guys are working together off of each other?
So the first thing was just shadowing each other, right? Kind of recognizing the other person's presence, your presence.
That's a really big word, you know, presence. I don't think you guys really appreciate how big that word is. And you have to understand that what you're doing here is also energetic. It's essence, it's your soul. It's not just the presence of what's in your center, like that little thing that you read yesterday that I wrote. That's also what's around you. And that's what I'm trying to bring it home to. So, give me a demo on it, you two, what we were doing. Just to refresh everybody's memory. You were there too, right? You were there. A big ass speech. So it was all about positioning, and then we did some striking too, right? So show me with the strikes as well. That wasn't too bad, guys.
So
it's going to lead into the form fighting.
I feel like I'm missing at least one rule, but the one I remember is just striking and moving. So you stay with the movement. You stay consistent with the movement while throwing the strikes.
Okay. You tell me. So who's striking first? Or was it just anybody win?
Do you want to go?
We did that, and then we did just one after another.
Oh, 4-4.
Yeah.
4-4. Nice. I see what I was trying to do. You also block.
That was the next
one.
That was the next one. Oh, so you were just targeting.
Yeah.
How do you see with the block? That you keep continuing, keep hitting that guy. He needs to get hit. So you're still practicing your energy rolls here, right? When you strike. We brought kicking into it as well, right?
At the end we did 4-4. That was just.
Oh, just a kicks, yeah.
That was all.
Yeah, that's everybody has problems with back kicks. They always think their ass. I want to get funny because I like getting funny, but everybody's ass just goes. Okay, that's good. So this is going to lead to what I wanted to do today. As I watch you guys move, you guys need to understand presence is a very important thing. There's also a soulful presence, an energy that exists within you. That's the expansion of time, energy. Time to the matrix means absolutely nothing. It means something to us. But what I'm trying to do, what you guys need to think about, is you need to get away from your reptile brain and your limbic system. Not get away, you're not going to escape, but your emotions come in. And when they come in, you guys automatically push your machines, right? And it automatically clicks to that old reptile brain and emotional content that exists in your limbic system and moves into other parts of your body. So right away, as you're trying to move, you're trying to get that smoothness away. When it comes into aggression, especially since you guys are all relatively young, you come right back into that. So what I'm trying to do with this here is, one, get you better interviewing using your T's, as we'll just simply call that, and get you into better movement, right? So we're going to do two different things in here. The same stuff that we're working on, but we're also going to do more contact, because I really want to get you now into the form fighting and get you to go into the ground and really start to, then we can start working on gravity takedowns, because that all comes into that. Because you guys are going to get in positions that are going to be really, really abstract and move. The first part of this movement here is based on sticking hands, Wing Chun, you know, all that stuff. based on that, but you got to take it a little bit further. And big part of Tai Chi. Okay, so when I was doing Tai Chi back in the day and doing pushing hands, you're all familiar with how pushing hands goes, right? Everybody's done a little bit of that. I remember in Chen Yu's class when I was doing that, he would get mad at me because I would never do it. I would never do it because I'd be standing with somebody like the Hulk who just wants to power through, and the idea is to feel other people's energy. And that's what you have to do here. So it's not about beating, it's about diverting. So when I did do it, I would move these other ways because I had no tolerance for people's stupidity. I have tolerance now, but I still, human density is just something that always annoys me. You know, so when I would work with the people, I would just make these moves, spin off of it, and do these other moves, and everybody in the class would, what the hell did you just do? And Chen Yu would get mad at me. He goes, I told you Tai Chi, not Seafood Hill. I said, I'm doing Tai Chi. I didn't say that. But the idiot in front of me just wants to fight. And if he wants to fight, I'm going to knock him. I'm going to hurt him. That's just the way it is. I won't tolerate it from anybody. Even you, Chen Yu, I won't tolerate it. You know, I won't. If you're going to try and beat me, then we're going to do that. That was just my motto. That was just my motto a long time ago when people were just idiots. I just don't have tolerance for people that don't want to practice. You know, and the ego's down. But I also understand now that's the limbic system, that's the reptile brain, and that part of our brain and stuff is great to have. That's your, should I stay, flight, go, run, hide, do all this other stuff. But you are supposed to be, even in your anxieties, shaking. Your internal part should be calm. So when you're nervous about something and your body's like doing what it's doing, when you have too much coffee or whatever it may be, all of this stuff goes in, but your internal being should stay calm. And that's when you have to evolve bring your reptile brain into your frontal lobes. And that's where all that gray matter is that you're not using, right? And the whole idea is to get that part of it to melt through the body. And this is what we're going to work on a little bit today. Now we'll take you to the form fighting, because the form fighting is really abstract, really good, and you have to be gentle in it. You know, you have to be able to give away, you have to be able to move. There's a level just before it that will allow you to practice, is what we're trying to do here, which is great, where you actually say, now, the reason I say that is because years and years ago when I was doing the form fighting, and I was in fighting these aggressive people, when we did that is where I really learned the techniques, to bring my techniques to life, you know, to start bringing them to life. I didn't realize at the time, as I was young, how valuable it was. All right, so the first thing we're going to do here, and I know you got to go, but you watch again. All right. The first thing you got to do here is, we've done it before. You're going to hold on to each other. All right. As you hold on, what you're going to try to do is manipulate the other person's movement. So in that, you're just trying, and the person automatically has got to alter. So you could see, like, sometimes you guys try to cheat, and I empty my hands out, and I do different things, and you kind of know where to go, you know, when I'm playing with this. This here is an isometric movement, all right, which is what I brought into the Tai Chi. So, like, this is my form and my way of doing pushing hands, because it gets you into combat. But when you're struggling, and you're this way here, and you both say you hit a deadlock, by moving your hand in a certain way here, you've got to switch the other person's movement. And kicking comes into this as well, not now, right? So what you're trying to do is always move to that person's center, and the vice versa. But if you start struggling with the movement, then you're fighting it. You're not feeling it. This is the hard part. Some of you are stronger than the other people. When you get there, and you lock that down, you can use that strength, but eventually that strength is going to be not working for a person that's strong. You're going to use that strength against them. And that's like true Wing Chun. You know the history of Wing Chun, right? Everybody knows that. Right? So when you get into that point where you feel that deadlock, which is going to happen a lot, when you're both here, you have to become mindful and realize that you're in that deadlock and work with the shifting, even if you just stop there and move. The goal is to always get into their center. So you are challenging them. But you have to challenge, for the lack of a better word, without ego. You have to manipulate the movement into here. That way, hey, what's up? And that way, I got those books for you. Because I want to go out and get it. That way, we're going to get to show you what's doing. So when these guys are working on what they're working on, I'm going to go through your Tai Chi with you. Make sure you got, I know it's like an eclipse, right?
Sorry, that's my fault. I told myself.
Yeah. So, you got that, but this is all part of the Tai Chi as well. So, if the Hulk is out here, right, the first thing you guys are going to do is make sure you come around to you, vice versa. Now, the reason I pick on him because he's be a good subject for this, right?
So there's an aggressor in this exercise?
No, you're both the aggressors. All right, this is like, when you do pushing hands, and you see pushing hands is going this way here. This is the same thing here, but now you're bringing it into combat mode. So what happens here, when you get into grappling and you get into the gravity takedowns, you really get a feel for how the person's moving and what they're doing, and when you're on the ground, and how the bones actually break. So this is difficult. This is a difficult thing to do. We may do it with you, why not? Right? Right? So if we're standing here first, I'm here. So now, at this point here, I took a very wide stance. Look, I pushed back here. So you have to be aware of your overall body, your overall center, right? So now, we've got to start to move. His goal now is to come into my center, right? Right? His goal is to come into my center. And you see where I'm just constantly going into him, right? Go ahead. All right, keep going. Why are you letting that hand stay there? Right? All right, so now he's struggling a little bit, and that's where I have to feel off of that because I knew he's got to go into Hulk mode, right? And this is all movement, right? So remember, you're trying to come into me. So you get an idea how that works. So there's no way he should be letting my hands get in here. But he is. Sometimes they're just staying there. So what this is working on is on your overall body movement, your overall body connection. So you're bringing more of the Tai Chi and stuff to life, and not this pushing hand stuff, which I really disagree with. I never liked it. I saw people work with it, and when I was training with all these so-called Sifus in Tai Chi, it was just horrible. It was like and the bigger guy was always moving the little guy. Like, that's why I picked you. And you could see, like, if we're moving, so if I tighten it up, and now he's coming in, there's just, like, my whole stance is tightened up. So I'm just being nice to him before, but here, I'm it's like he keeps letting my hand just stay there, move in. You can't let that. So if I work with Venom, who should be a little bit more advanced with this, right? Okay, so now we're going to do this here. We just start out, and now we go. So he's emptying his hand out too much. Okay, but I can feel that. This is what I'm trying to say to you. Where he had a presence that was just, hulkish, which you could see that I can overpower, even though it's using your power against you, which is really what a form fighting and stuff. The form fighting is different because it's just beautiful. You guys will really elevate your technique and your sense of self as well. All right, so he's emptying his hand out. He's got this hand out, so he's playing with me. But I know that. So just to give you an idea, okay, so as he starts to go, and I start to move to my center, I'm just moving here, and I can feel his energies through here, his metal rods, his bones through his body, right? All right, so he keeps going. And then at this point, I could just take advantage of it, right? I could just see. So you do get into pushing the other person around eventually. You know, like we worked on it a little bit before, you see how I kept pushing you into the wall, you know, because you're a strong guy, right? So now it's really about, if he's standing here and we're moving against each other, right? Right? And he goes to move. I can feel his energies. I could just keep him here. Go ahead, keep going. Right? Go, keep going. I could just keep him here because I could feel his energies. This point here is in trouble, right? Because I've tied him up. So it's really about understanding the other person's energy in connection with you, all right? And that's what we're going to work on. But before we do that, because I wanted to get into that because we're going to do that a little bit, I want you to work on the material that we were doing first. So let's have you lead. So let's have. Did you get a concept of what we were doing? You got the idea,
Sort of.
right? Okay. So let's have you and Vic work together, because Vic has worked with me a little bit. He can guide you with this. This is really good stuff. And I'm going to go get those books.
Okay.
I bought these bunch of books on tree identification. So Vic liked that one. He liked it. So that goes a long way for me, because Vic has that super brain.
Single there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a really thick book, though. Nothing you're going to take, but I just wanted to do that because the guy I was working with says he wants to come down to here.
Okay.
He is the I don't know if you met him, but the herbologist.
I remember you.
Yeah, we were talking about herbs and stuff. So trees are hard. I said, I got a girl. She's always leaving.
I don't know what you mean. Trees are the easiest ones.
Oh, yeah, well, you know what I mean. So, all right, so work with her. Let's have, let me see. Let's have you two work together. And you just practice up until I get back. How long are you staying?
What?
How long are you going to stay? You're going to leave soon, right?
30
I
minutes.
got like 30 minutes.
All right, go. Work with them. Good. All right. Now, there's no right or wrong here, guys. And then there's switches around. But we're going to add this to what you were just doing with the steps, where you're going to be in contact with it, and add the kicking to it. And that will lead us right into the form 5 segment, where everybody can do it and just really start improving your skill sets. You know how you go like this here, this will all start to stop. And you just really have more presence. So you being natural, go ahead guys, start doing it. You being natural yin, the work, he's strong yin. So you have to use your yin against him to start going around. Now forget those books.
Okay.
And, you know, okay. All right, go do your thing. I wasn't sure if you were showing today, but I thought after I yelled at you.
You're going to just kind of contact them. So I think basically the idea is to feel like more centered.
Guys, hold up. Let's do something very simple just before we do this. Remember sticky hands?
Yeah.
Do that with it, so you can feel it.
Just
So sticky hands is if he's standing here, you're here. So you're feeling more of the other person's energies. Just to give it, just do it for like maybe 5 minutes, right? The goal is for him to get his hands on top of mine. But you can't do this. This is really like, sometimes they never get on top, right? So my goal is to not let his hands get on top without using unnecessary force. Only the force that's coming here, right? So it's a win-win situation, a lose-lose situation, right? So we're standing here, and you're going to take a stance that's kind of moderate here. You've got to really concentrate on your center, because that's where you have to project everything from, also in this. You've got to get away from your limbic system so much, and use a different type of emotions, move through and your reptile brain, right? So now his goal is to get on top of me without emptying his hands. Now you can see here, you can see how I'm moving him a little bit, right? So now he adjusted for that. And we're doing, so now he gets on top. Yay! All right? Because we'll be there all day. Right? So now my goal is to get on top. My goal here is not to do this. And you can't, your hands, come back over here again. Your hands can't do this. They can't web out. Cheer. Right? Because then you can do all this stuff. It's okay. They have to stay here. You can manipulate the fingers a little bit. Right? But you can't web your hands out. Because there's nowhere you want to hold. Okay? So if he's on top, see how he's rubbing his hands out? His hands have to be this way. Like this. Right? Okay? Alright? So now I can feel a little bit too far. I'm going to readjust my stance, because he's got those long arms too. And now my goal is to come up on top and move. So I force that. So now we got one on the bottom, one on the top, and then I just used his energy back at him, right? So now he has to come up on top. And then we're sitting here, we're just playing. You had a shot there, but you see where I'm moving his body too, because my hands are going back and forth. So just to get an idea of the person's strength, but you'll feel centered, all right? Just to do that for 5 minutes to get the idea, and then go into the movement that we're doing. Let's give you 5 minutes with that, guys. Kind of explain what you were trying to explain to her a bit, right? Everything going okay with you?
Yeah.
And I call up and yell, text you and yell at you.
I know.
So see, I guess it's banging the
Like she's like, oh, yeah, but she's like, okay, so her element and also her nature is very yang. Right? No. Yeah, you have a lot of yang. So you gotta feel that she's gotta fight you. Don't let her, you have to move against her. So she's gotta cheat, she's gotta try to bounce around, she's gotta try to do all that stuff. Stay with the program. Right? He'll guide you. This will give you an idea of what we're going into. This is tough. This is the first step of sticking hands, right, that you're doing. So you see, Tim, when you were moving, you could feel your center while you're all right, while you're using that. And actually, a little bit too, because that's the sequence privilege. Right? But you're really trying to just get an overall feel for the hands. Good, guys. Get an idea. You're going to bring the big kahuna stick. Oh, those are just my books.
Yeah. Okay.
It's challenging, right? Why don't you guys, you two, switch partners, just see where the different feel of a different person's energy. So let's have it. I'll go and hold work together and you two.
We want to talk about it.
So I'm not supposed to resist it.
You are, but you're supposed to, so like if you're coming around the top, right, you're trying to go over, just come on, just feel your energy. Where's your hand? See?
I see, but I don't get
All of it,
it.
you're just manipulating where your energy is. So I feel you start to move around, right, I can feel that, so see how I just move that,
Yeah.
right? Whereas if I didn't do anything, right, let's say I misread that, see how your energy is open. What I do is I feel where your tension is, so you start to move, feel that, see how I just stay on top of it, right? So really good energy lane versus center.
So how do you go again? You just have to.
You gotta be able to feel around it.
No, it's.
Yeah, so see how now you're able to slip past it. But don't use the hand, right? Just follow through with the whole.
Okay.
So instead of trying to like do this, instead of trying to do that. So see how it's just, it's not like this, I'm not like putting my hand over it, this is easy to slip. So like, don't get it, right? Don't even try to get my hands on it. So if I start to, yeah, see how you can feel that immediately, right? But here, I feel where your center is, and I can feel exactly where the connection is to you. Right, so when I start to move, over there. So I can just feel it, just a little gap, right? It changes every time. See that?
Yeah. It's more about reaction time.
But it's also that, yeah, but it's also that I already see it before I move. So right here, I can feel it, there's one over right. Yeah, so you're already kind of starting to go there. So I might set you up. Yeah. So see how I'm now starting to feel where my hands are. So giving you a little bit of stimulus to work with.
Yeah.
Now you're starting to push, right? Now you're trying to trap it. And so there's a balance here. The more you start to push, then I can Yeah.
towards it, yeah.
Right? And you also just use that against you. So see, I took that whole section, redirected it, and made a whole structure along the way. Right? And that's where all the fun stuff I like to do comes from. Because that's what I said on others too. Right? So when you're talking, because when you just kind of stay sensitive, yeah, that's the way. So when you look very obvious direction, you just need to stand up. Say you kind of give me that, you reacted very strongly when I went here. You almost tried to like push your hand down.
Yeah.
What that did is just, all I have to do is just roll around you. So you kind of gave me that over. That's fine. That's normal, right? So I'm going to be a little bit less invasive, so you have an opportunity to feel how I'm responding.
No, you see how you guys are all out of the circle? You're all here? You can't do that. It's got to stay confined. You have to stay. You got them shadow demons all around you. You can't move past your shadow. So they stay right there and stare. You can't do anything out here. Nothing has to go outside your body that far. Right? Because then you're struggling, you're fighting, you're not using the feeling of the energy. All right, so same partner. Actually, switch your partners back to the original one. You're fine. So, and then we'll switch this around. Now you got to do what we were doing here, and you're going to try to bring what you were doing into this. So we're going to stand here, and we're going to move. Now this is going to lead into actual combat, right? And also all close. So this is really learn to use a red zone fighting. So now we start to move, and he's got to move at me. And you see where I'm just staying here, right? So I can get tougher and tougher with this, more advanced, but I try to move with your energy so you can learn something from it, just a little bit over it. So if he's working at, depending on your opponent, now, you obviously are gonna outgun her. So when you do that, she's coming at you with what she's coming out with you. You've got to put your a little bit over it just to give her a playing field. And you've got to feel that with the different people you work with. The more you tighten down, especially when you get into the form fighting, it's got to go into that. So now you're getting this whole idea of movement, of moving around your center, and you've got to also appreciate when I'm telling you guys to get into your dragon technique, into your deeper stances, into your movement, because basically a lot of times you can just stand there and challenge that person's not moving anywhere. They have to readjust their movement to do it. And what you guys are doing here, your ego, so that your reptile brain comes in and it's doing this here, right? You can't, because you're fighting too much. You're not feeling. Now here you can fight, but it has to stay focused because your whole goal now is, here was just to practice the idea of feeling a person's energy. It really doesn't matter to get on top. That's kind of just like, it's just there. It really just matters to feel that energy. You can stay there, but the idea of that keeps fluctuation. So if you guys are doing this stuff, flying down a plane, you don't want to do that. Here, you are trying to always manipulate your opponent. So it is a game of chess. And the whole idea of this game is to constantly keep your opponent, or you also, in a constant state. But here, it's not going to happen because you guys have all different levels and you're going to play with it, and then you can tighten it up. So the goal here is actually to reach that person's center, and the other person's goal is to reach your center, and you're both diverting all these energies in here. And that's where you've got to see that fluctuation. So you can go as fast as you want. I would suggest, not picking up speed. I would suggest that your movement is all here. So I'm constantly connecting with that movement. This will also graft you into the free movement that I want to see you guys express with nobody's there, with your shadow demons and your energy goals. Okay? So this all leads into real world combat. You got it? All right? So if a person you're working with like him, he's exerting a lot of energy because he's the Hulk. But it's easy to divert. You know, you can just play with it. Then when it gets aggressive, it will get aggressive. That's when you start pushing the other person around. You just push them right to a wall, and you push them all over the place. And they're trying to do the same to you without doing the playing flat. So it is confining. You gotta stay within those parameters, right? Because that's what's gonna teach you. And what your brain wants to do, it wants to escape those parameters. It doesn't want to stay with that. It's uncomfortable. But you'll get there. All right, guys, let's play with it. Go ahead. Still got a little time, so let's use it. Oh, hey. Alex, where's your stuff at?
What's up?
You know, your phone and all that stuff.
My phone's over there.
Okay. You see this here? Don't forget it.
What is that?
This is the sake.
Right.
I think who you cuddle with is gonna like it because it's very yin. It's a yin motion. So if you don't like it, you just give it to me.
Just like here, the goal is to get close to the ground.
Yeah, we still want to
Structure. So figure out how to get it without using force. Use force the most.
but you're feeling her force.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So you're feeling the whole fluctuation. Now Vic should be actually pretty good at this now. So, but also Vic's a lot stronger than you. So you don't want to use strength. You want to always equal that out in that motion. So you could see where your stances aren't really connecting with your root. They're just very robotic. So you have all the stance work that you could use to really start to bring some strength in, right? And you don't want to pick up, if you find that the other person is coming too fast, that's because you're struggling, you're fighting too much. You're not manipulating, you're truly not manipulating, you're just trying to go back into a defense mechanism and not feeling each other's energies, which is why I've never liked pushing hands. And when you see the competitions and stuff like that, I never liked it. But when Chen Yang Yu did, it didn't matter what his opponent was. He just went there and he was just able to just, do all those things. So now, like in that Venom, that situation that we were just in, if he's saying one thing, you want to force him to where you want him to go, and vice versa. If you don't want to go, you don't go. So there's no catering here. Right? It's really hard. Right? Actually, I really like what Alex and the Hulk are starting to do, and he's using some more stance work. So you see how the movement's more steady? All right, so stop for a second. You two. No, you guys keep going. And then, take it, right? So, too hyper. So, I know what you're saying. Well, Tim is a man. He just keeps picking up his speed. He just keeps going faster. But that's what you have to learn to control. So what happens is, so give you an idea. Right?
Let's
Tim is just being Tim. Right? We'll see. All right, so he's got to come to my center. We'll see where I just keep that control. He's doing all this stuff. So we can do all this stuff, and eventually, that's the part I'm going to start to play with. Eventually, when I start getting to the pusher.
So here I am, right? See how I'm pressing your step.
So I'm going to keep going.
So figure out how
I'm
to
going
get
keep
me
right
out of here
here.
without using
See where he
force.
just keeps doing all this stuff.
I just feel
And
where
now I'm
I'm
going to start.
I'll give you a little bit here. I'll put a little bit of muscle in there too, so you can feel the, see how I'm pushing it over now.
Right? And this is where all this stuff is.
Yeah, that, and see how you deflected my force downward. That was good.
So just because it comes into my center,
Now I'm
doesn't mean that I'm not
here. Yep, it feels
Yes.
good.
You see what I'm
And
talking
you deflected
about?
upwards.
So
Nice.
all of these movements start coming, which is what's going to come out in the fight. So you want to try to keep it more, when you're working with a spider, you want to keep that spider stationary. So you can never blame your opponent if they have, quicker movement and stuff like that. You need to work with that because you just never know it. And you do need to slow down with it, but you need to discover that in your nature. Because right on there, you go right back into your reptile brain. And you're challenged. So as non-aggressive as you are, you're not that non-aggressive. You see, you just don't know that you are. And I learned that years ago when I switched to people when I was training maniacs to people that were, say, higher education, blah, blah, blah. They were worse than the maniacs with each other.
Yeah.
You know? So you really want to try to equal that.
Here.
Switch it up just a little bit. So let's have Hulk work with him. So you're going to see a difference with this. And then you go over here. This isn't easy, guys. But it does get more fun when we start bringing it into the other stuff. Which you go over here.
So I'm still trying to use force, right? Yeah. We just have the force down. So feel where I'm putting pressure, you'll redirect it.
It's hard, right? Because you run away, she wants to use her strength, right?
Well, I don't have anything.
Just feel it. It's not taking.
Nobody does.
Yeah.
So it's not just you. It's a bit frustrating, you know? But it's a good frustration.
Just touch up.
So, you know, Tim, you're actually doing better against the Hulk because he's the Hulk.
Right. So,
So, you know, like,
right. Figure
really,
out
you
how
can just
to
reach out and
so
crush
you
it. So,
feel
you know,
pressure.
Hulk smash.
Figure out.
So now
That's
you're
the-
actually starting to use.
So you use your footwork to untie yourself. That's kind of better. Right. And if I go low now. Right.
You have tools, guys.
So that's
your tools. How they move. You don't have to go crazy.
Stay in your center.
You have to have a
Figure
destination.
out how to get me out of this position.
Because that was really nice.
So you do need to keep a little bit of pressure, right? So when you do that movement, also keep a little bit
This
of
is cool when you bring the kicks.
So you can round, and then you
you
get
know.
So figure out where I'm getting, yeah. Now you pull. Yeah, that's better.
All right, guys, let's just soup this up a little bit because we've got like 5 minutes before I want to call the experiences. So now you got to do the same thing. The difference here is you're going to be fighting. So the idea of the center now, you're going to be using technique off of their technique to hit to their center. So you're going to be fighting with this technique instead of just trying to get to the center. So now you're going to take positions with your hands, moving into the person, positions here. You're going to be doing different things. You're going to be doing striking. So now, instead of just trying to move to the center, there's actually going to be striking involved with this. So, working off your opponent. So you start out with your hands together. Sometimes the hands will alleviate, but the goal is to get your hands back connected again. Like if you leave the area because you would just push this way and you come up, you always have to be mindful of your center, right? So we start out here, and now we go. So it's all moving and manipulating to the center of that person, right? Right? So here there's a little bit of trouble. You see how he's coming here? So at this point, go back to that move. At this point, you see I did this, right? You can't hold. That was a manipulation. So as he starts to come through, I did this, and then I let it go to move, right? And now this is an even tug, right? And this is where it really starts to get good, and this is what we get into the form. So I said, there's no winners, there's no losers. You're just moving into your center. So now the challenge is to strike and move. Now let's say that strike here, when we came here, it was here. Now from here, we're going to move, right? So at this point here, I move here. And this is where it gets into the throws. So you see how I move my body into, right? And that's also going to trip up, and that's how you get into the gravity takedowns. Yeah, and you end up on the ground. Right? I just don't want to go to the ground because my knees start to feel better, and I don't want to go there. But you guys will be going to the ground. You got it? Because you see here, all I would have been is just taking my foot and moving it around. Now you start to bring that technique you don't even realize you have. Really cool. Really, really cool. True gravity. All right, you guys ready? No ground. Don't go to the ground. All right?
So let's keep the strikes very straightforward, nothing complicated. Right? Pretty clear.
Same thing with the form.
You want us to come do the same thing?
Yeah, why don't we do the same thing?
Unfortunately,
She was in here for like a couple of days. So we're gonna- all right. I know she got a lot of, she said, he's going to suck.
No, Well, I'm not paying attention to that.
Yeah.
Good.
I just like the way they were laid out,
See,
the information.
this is where I do my stroke. So I do it. Cool. You block that. See how it
It's a really good workout, too. It really works. You see how you're picking up too much speed? You got to work. It's 2 squirrels, Mike.
Is that okay?
Yeah, but that's
Four
what
squirrels,
this
Mike.
It's just very quickly.
Yeah.
Slow it down. Let's just switch this a little bit here. You go back to the home. You go over here. That's going to leave it right there. You're going also. Yeah. Well,
I need to focus on one
all right.
thing at a
Yeah,
time.
real fast there.
Yeah, I'll go back and forth.
Don't go fast to the home. This is
Or
going to
have
crush you. So there's no such thing as a solid move, you know what I mean? Like you can see when you did that motion when I go against you, right? You just pushed in, used your strike against you, right? So come in and do it, right? Let go of your neck, of course, but you know, take the idea, right?
Thank you for letting go.
But in practice, when you get there, you have to go through that movement, so you also learn how to fall and twist. You know? You're just like pushing too much. Right? So if you see this, Tim, and you're watching them, this is kind of what you guys are doing. Right?
You can see how
Okay, you just let it get away from it.
I'll figure how.
You don't want to let
I'll
it
keep
get
it
away
with
from
time.
it. You want to stay with it. All right, guys. So on this here, right, when you're moving against each other and you're moving this whole part, when we bring kicking into it, it's going to really take a hold of it. That's when you start going to the ground too. Because the kicks, you have to let the movement, I'll just give you a heads up. You have to let the movement follow through. You have to feel the kick and work off the kick, or you have to push the kick back. And you guys are losing a lot, you're panicking a lot. It's here, your left, so she starts to come in to the center. You see, stop right there. You see where my hand moves this way and where this hand moves this way? How I'm using my hands? When you guys use your hands, it's like this. You look like, I don't know what you look like. You look like you should be in a go-go club. Yeah.
I don't know what kind of go-go club you want to do.
I don't know.
Right.
A go-go club that you're doing acid. Yeah.
Great.
Because back in the day when I was with the hippies, that's exactly what they would do. All this, it's free movement. No, man, you just messed up high. All right, so here I'm concentrating on my hands. When you guys are doing it, it's doing all this stuff. Like, I don't know, like you're trying to be like I can't say this, we got this on camera. So
Spellcaster?
Yeah, you're trying to be a spellcaster. There's a story behind that. And I don't want to insult people's religion. So here we're going this way. Here, this is not what you want to do. So if he's coming at me and he's moving my set, you see where I'm really concentrating on my hand movement. Now, go ahead, keep going. I can feel where now, so this is a freedom. This is the freedom I was talking about, where his hand now has escaped, right? And it's got to go. So either I want to put pressure on that hand and use it, or whatever I want to do. So I'm feeling so. So he starts to move. If he empties himself out, he still has to go. Now here I am. And this is where I'm going to start to move in. And this is where I'm going to start to manipulate. Right? Now here, if we were doing takedowns, he's in trouble. Right? Because at this point here, as he swings back, I'm going to move this way. Right? And this is where this is going to come in. All right? And I'm just going to bring him down. And this is where you really start, boom, comes down to, so you really start learning some different takedowns. And you all have the abilities to do that, you know, to really advance, like especially your abilities in the takedown arms, the grappling, right? You guys got it? So that's what's coming. That's when it's fun, right? So use your hands. Don't do this, right? So he's coming at me. Don't do this. What is this? That's what you both are doing. It's just like, oh, woo,
It's the most
right?
uncomfortable massage in the world.
Yeah. So here, I'm in contact. So as he starts moving in, you see where I'm using my hands here. Look at this. Stop right here. You feel where you're putting that pressure on? And I feel it here. So I feel the pressure this way. I feel the pressure this way. Because my hands are doing the work, right? With my center. So now as he starts to move, I'm going to manipulate that pressure, see? So now we're disconnected, right? And then as he starts to move in, I may reconnect. And now you see, look what my hands are doing. Look what my hands are doing. Right back into like the sticking hands, right? See how they're on? So as he starts coming, you see where I'm tying him up. Right, you just keep him there. Now he had to, I'm going to take this hand completely out of here, come through the eye of the needle, and I'm ready for that. And that's where you really start playing. But you guys are doing these spell casting because you reptile brain. You just go right into that, you defend, instead of really concentrating on your center and your hand movement. Hands are tools. So this is a tool. Right? This is from the eagle claw. Right? This is also from the eagle claw. Right? This is a tool, leopard claw. Right? This is a tool, chops, and how they're coming through. This is a tool, stabbing and moving. Right? All of this in your hands, if his arm is out, just put it straight out. Right? Make a fist. Is a tool. You see how I'm in here? Grappling. I'm in here. So this all comes into play. So now if he comes back, just put your hand this way, like this. As he's here and he's coming in, you see where I'm using the tool? My thumb comes out, coming in. So now he's got to manipulate that, and now you see how I'm using the tool. Right? It has a purpose, the hand movement, but the only way you're going to bring out that purpose is to become aware of it. If you're doing this here, then you're fighting. And you don't want to fight, you want to manipulate. And that's what's hard. That's what's hard about it. And that's the whole difference of what you're trying to do. So if you slow it down and work on the hand techniques, like in connection with it. So here, now we're coming, so as he starts to move in, you see here, look at this technique. Right? My hand is here, I'm manipulating here, I'm feeling the energy rod go this way. Oh, it's so much fun working on this stuff, right? And now I feel this going here. I can see, so I'm going to see where he's going with it. So as he starts to try to come into my center to strike, this is where my strike is going to come in, and this is where I just let his hand take me. See how easy it is? It's not so easy, but it is. Right? And you see I just did a back fist there. And that's when it really gets fun. Because now you're fighting each other, but you're working as a team. You know, you're not. But when you're doing all this spell casting, it's not working for you. You've got to keep it in your center, and you've got to feel how your hands are going to manipulate the other person, you know? Not just moving them around like aimlessly, you know? Okay? All right, go ahead, guys, try it. All right, so let's do something a little bit different. Vic's the only real stable guy I got here with this, right? So, you guys start going crazy and panicking. When you notice the difference when you were with the Hulk, everything was more, like, because you knew you're not going to outpower him, right? So you've got to manipulate. All right, so Vic, what you're going to do is you work with a person for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, gauging, and then I want you to go to him, and I want you to go to him. All right, you got the idea? So first, problem child right here, right? Right? And then you two work together. But you know what I want you to do, try to do. I want you to go to these books. Right? These books I thought, I did a lot of research on them. I thought they were the best books for treatment. This was a smaller one. This one had a lot of different stuff on it. I just thought they were good. This guy, I know you're talking about. It was a last minute thing. I just wanted to work with him. But he has such a great layout. And this I really liked. I thought was good because they show in the beginning, they show the leaves with the ball. I thought that was really, really cool. I don't know if you like that or not.
Yes.
And I thought that was really good, like a good handbook. Just on
I was going to start
carrying,
carrying.
so I could just do a tour. This book, I just got at the last minute because it really kind of goes through, it does a whole tree. It's very good. None of these you can carry with you. But I just thought they're just reference books. I just wanted to see if you thought they were good reference books, for what's out there. The one this guy mentions, I think it was him, he mentions about the online stuff. You can just take a picture. They still got a long way to go. This is really kind of what you want to do. When you can take a picture and identify with this, you know, with that site that you,
Yeah, the app can get you started and then you can like double check.
yeah, like going deeper to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just thought if we ever do our little tour, then that will be cool to bring those and kind of,
Yeah.
because I know Vic would like to go on through that, because trees are just so hard. So the herbalist that I was dealing with that wants to come, he goes, yeah, that's just really difficult. He says, I said, yeah, because you just look at, now you are familiar with your area, so that's really cool. But,
Oh, see, this is gonna be a problem.
okay,
Western region. This is gonna refer to west of the Rockies.
okay. But it's all in the same, like, not in the same area. That would have to be a particular area, how it would be.
Yeah, like this is gonna be like California. Like,
Yeah, but it's all like the northern states, North America.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, this is
It's gonna be the
different.
west coast.
Oh,
You want
okay.
it eastern.
Okay.
Or even better is northeast.
Okay. But it's good to know things from this area.
Oh, totally. It's just,
Yeah.
and we have some things in common, but it's gonna get confusing and it's gonna have like, there's gonna be things in.
So this is not a good pocket map.
No, not around here in Jersey.
All right.
But this one is.
That one
this
seems to
one's
cover a lot.
All of North America.
Right.
Yeah, this is.
So this is what for like the Rockies, like Canada.
West of the Rockies,
West of
like
the
Washington, Oregon, California.
Okay, so it's still good to have.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
it's a
yeah.
good reference.
Because
It's not-
that's where all your woods are. You know, that's where all the woods are.
Well, vehicles too.
Yeah, but not, you know, like Canada, deep woods, or Washington State is crazy. You know, the big bears and the crazy.
Yeah, that is.
That's when I was doing my wilderness stuff. It was just, you keep your teeth. You like this one? This kind of covers
It's
more.
got, I like it as a reference book. I'm
As a
trying to see
reference.
if it has a key, what you want is a dichotomous key, especially when you're first learning. So this is a good one to have, but I'm gonna give the one and recommendation as another one.
Yeah.
It's really good to, I wish I had it. I usually
Well, next time.
carry it, I'll bring it.
Bring it.
Yeah,
Bring it next time. And the other guy you wrote, I really like his layout. You know, he also showed you the pair of foods and his pictures and how they come together. He's very thorough. You know, trees are difficult. I can see why they're difficult because there's so many
Yeah,
different varieties in different regions.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, this is good because it guides you. It's not just like
It's
a list of
edible.
species, it tells you like really for this category.
Right.
Yeah, it guides you further. So
Yeah, that's what trees are. But basic trees are.
This is what you want, the key, it's kind of like a choose your own adventure book. It'll ask you like, are the leaves, do they have teeth or are they a smooth margin? And then you answer the question. It says, okay, are the leaves smaller than 3 inches or larger than 3 inches? And that's what you want. This one does.
Well, yeah, especially if you're eating them.
Yeah.
You really want to be careful, you know. So yeah, that's good. I knew that Vic saw that right away. The other one I just liked because it's cheap. It's only like $30. So it's good to keep. Kids go to
My
California.
favorite one is $5 and it is in your pocket and it has coffee.
Is that the one that you were going to show me?
Yes.
Well, order it. Order it and I'll just pay you when you get it. $10. Whatever.
It's really good to have. Like I don't.
That would be good. That would kind of thankful. Get a couple of them. That I can give them to somebody.
Yeah, totally.
But these are like really long, right? They're
Yeah, this
deep.
is for like.
Well, that one, obviously, because edibles, you gotta be really careful,
Yeah.
you know, because even if you know, you could die. Because of, you know, you just go about it. But they're okay, books are okay. As reference books,
Oh, yeah.
you know.
Oh, it's trust.
So I would be able to like take a picture of something, and
Yeah.
bring it back and take a look at that.
Yes.
Now that app that you're telling me about, right? When you take a picture of something, don't forget to switch it up. Switch your phone.
This is
Yeah.
the one right now.
Alright, I don't know what it was.
See one of the flowers.
I do see that. It's a Jersey phone, right?
I just ordered some of this. Tastes like broccoli, because it's like broccoli.
That's so cool. So it's gonna be fun coming out.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna really enjoy
Yeah.
it.
We could
And I'll
do-
bring whoever the guys are, whoever wants to come. I think it's just a good thing. My main thing is, edibles are okay.
Mhm.
You know, that's a good thing to learn, so I picked that up, but trees are so difficult. So is this, but, you know, this, the information is more compact.
Yeah.
But identifying a tree, now there's like 5 main trees, 8 main trees, which are easy to identify, you know, that have all these different properties, pine trees, your willow trees, you know, they all have different stuff, so that's easy to identify and see. But not so easy to identify when you've got 30,000 of them all clumped like a bunch of bushes in one spot.
True.
And it's so difficult because there's certain trees that you can actually take the roots and use it as rope. You know, but you cut it, you have to split it, and it actually is stronger than rope and it doesn't catch on fire. You know, or still, yeah, it's really cool. And then they have, I remember when I was training, they had certain trees that you could peel the bark off, and you could take that and make cordage out of the bark. So, it's really cool. All right, so let me take a little walk with you in a second. I just want to tell you what's going on with me. Let me see what's going on. So, what is that?
I can feel like just ache that can come back.
You know, you're good with that.
I know.
You're right here.
I know.
And I would really kick, you know, it would come up and then drop. So this would come here and then straight and drop. And then just drop right underneath. And then like, break the face like that. So I agree. I will get that. Because you come all the way up with the energy, so all you have to do is sink it and you go. It's like you wrap yourself up there.
Reset it. Or just like that.
Good, 40 again.
Rick, you been switching off?
Yep.
You see how you can just plow through him, right? Because it's like all over the place. And how you're manipulating. And that's exactly what you want to do. Don't let up. You're relentless. You know? You guys, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you guys are doing. You're like, you remind me of Lost in Space. You ever see the old Lost in Space? Warning, Will Robinson. Warning, warning. You got it. Yeah. Keep it condensed, guys. That's the challenge. All right, we're gonna end it. I'm gonna go pee. And then I'll see you next.
You want to switch?
Next one.
I'll switch one more time.
Yes.
All right, guys. Goodbye. Hello. Goodbye. Let's go. Because we got some stuff to do. All right? We're done. Peace out. All right.
Sure, guys, I'm going.
Yeah.
Can we do it? It's not like fasting, it's just like,
I'm sure Ben was in my name.
How long you been for?
just a minute.
Get home.
It's been a while since we've done this.
All right.
Still at 6:30.
6:30.
I had to be late today, but.
No, that's kind of like it's a 6:30 is supposed to be a workout. But you guys get here at 6:30 because then you get to move around and practice before I get in and say, what the hell are you doing? You know, that kind of thing.
You can review for work with others,
Yeah.
pick up more stuff.
Yeah, so I say 6:30, get here, most of the time I'm here at 6:30, but I'm going to come a little bit later to give people none of my vulture eye.
Gotcha.
You know? So what do you want to do? I don't know where that's from, right?
Yeah.
That's me. So tell you, what do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want? Jungle walk, right?
Yeah, that's what it's from.
For the bare necessities of Mother Nature's recipe. We don't sing that when we're doing that thing. Forget about your worries and your strife. I mean the bare necessities. All right. Monday.
Yeah, I'll be.
We'll see.
No, that's true.
I'll wait a couple of times and then I'll start yelling at you again in the text.
No need.
All right. Good seeing you.
Yeah.
And I'll keep you in the loop for whatever is going to fall like that area. Like I said, if you just reach out, not much I can do.
Yeah. I see.
He needs to talk to someone. He really does. All right. I'll talk to you.
Thanks.